conceptual part of this. Was not. Slippery, sweaty hands. The gloves. I'm going to read 3 poems from my first collection, All Particles of Bruce. I shall manoeuvre around. It's totemic. We'll get into the poems. So, in a captive audience of one. We are managing a smile. We are sorry for the noise next door. We are the noise next door, and we are listening. We are mess and we are terror. We are headlines, misread lines and headstones. We are forecasts of billiard balls. We are vending tongues and heirlooms. We are pretending with our napkins. We are Wi-Fi buried in newborn bones. We are the lower ilium and never learn. We are lost and due to arrive soon. We are white and male and middle class. We are not a surprise. We are not a surprise. Not intention through the day. We are suffering from neck ache or eyes and ineffectual acupuncture. I tried to glue gun sequence to my pupils. I tried, but I cannot keep my eyes open. I cannot fool myself. I scold myself. I curse. I think of staples. We are canonized for herding drafts of air. We are soluble in time. We are exhausted by what we might be when what we are imagines we might be. We are we? Drawn by impatient godly strokes of pen, diagnosed as clinically depressed, justifying obsolescence, regaling our own impressions of living with how it felt to live, and so building a life from living through impressions of how it felt to live, to regale by living. We were heavy, the privileged, the toxic transparency being us, closing our hands around the nettle. We were, when it mattered, absent. I say these things in the voice of someone I imagine someone might want to read. That's where I go. Someone like, we were advocates of sleep above all other partisan investments. We sounded obnoxiously familiar. We were used to being taught that it was the taking part. We were taking part of being told we were used. We were overwrought with reservations, but met up just the same. We were ethically compromised, so talked other overs, lest others eloquently compromise us. We were better in the movies. True to our word, which by then had lost its currency, dressed from head to toe in variations of skin, we were always buffering and in always becoming became New Age karaoke stars among the COVID patients. We shudder, and nothing changes. We were at best hesitant when the cows came home, pacing in the waiting room, dreading the results, choosing a colour for the blinds, how it felt to become increasingly suspicious of dairy products. I am as if, but insist otherwise. I bluster this, dress, smoke and piss, stitched in spoken form. My only phrase, of course, it's bluff, deceitfully apportioned. We are told to remember the economy of expression, but after the recession, this advice has been withdrawn. We suckle sturgeon and pretend not to notice the sound of rioting. We are the plain view, and view you plainly as nothing else than the ants at our picnic. This is not us. We know this. We were never even at the picnic. We bought in excess of 5 Scotch eggs, but still we did not go. The compassion of our doting mothers furnished us with rolled blankets, pickled onions, and exhaustive recommendations regarding sites of outstanding natural mediocrity. We did not leave the house. We drank tepid reticence from a flask. We stood in doorways questioning our position. You were there. You were there. Slowly opening your mouth to reveal a key sleeping flat upon the tongue. You knew what it was we did not know, and we, as you well know, could never know what it was we did not know. Pity us. We will nod, will pass, will nudge with puffed eyes, sealed and dance for your acceptance. We will degrade ourselves with tambourines. We will invent, toil and painstakingly upholster entire mythologies to lay the carpet at your feet. I want to be you at a distance. I write you every day, signed with such cowardice we met. We met with little but ourselves. We met little but we met ourselves little but the noise next door and listening. This poem is called Dear Estranged. There was pollen, a misdirected joke about your hat. My floundering had become visible. So many books to read, too many, and so it's a choice of who and when to commit that buckles knees, palms clammy with indecision. But you're bearing up. I've been here all my life and have little sense of having learned how best to use what it is I've learned. So much dressing up, and then you take it off, convinced the others are also effortlessly, confidently naked. Yet I never thought to tell you how I only felt when pushed, talked up onto no brink. There was sunlight, and the ants were sure of where to go. You couldn't say we'd found each other. It meant as much as all the water, to be living like matchsticks, our heads unlit and itching. Mr. Lotman and Reed is called Fog to Almost See You. Invaliding flowers and the breeze, a blown cool, scaled house of it, strings tilted, acute, to really have to connect, I guess. Heights Park, the fuse limp as wintering and joining is, could own open-ended lines or here, sure. Who's pulled from naught but lights washed? Though what is a face, water through, and what is lacquered you keeps us table woven on and bundles. Let me cares burning, doing no longer. Again to an arch, which accordingly larks to really seem less mistletoe than actual, same as good farewell or might unbecoming. This is us. This us is maybe coming to, but slung casual, like wearing size. Although we stop showing it, still builds with if and all, or as one gales, the much of his to and slow expression amounts to hiss, water falling to sense, rocks from rocks. The mulch of his, her, and her, his, acquiring the lay of where as land and spray, the what articulates happening are there, here, trees we hand, a smoke caught, unlikely but fibrous, to quip shape lichen, so porous a then if there, or there if then, we make it out or up to all but cascade, each as else an atlas. At last we cry, at last. Thank you.